All right, my beautiful people. I hope you're having a good as a weekend as I am. I don't know if that came out right, but before I begin, drop a like on the video if you guys like these watch lists, if they're helpful, if this is the content you want to see, and make sure you guys are subscribed to the live streaming channel because, well, this is what I'm going to be going over pre-market and what we're going to do. You could look in the description, the comment section, or go to youtube.com/the stock market. But Monday through Friday, we start 30 minutes before open. So let's just get into this. Now, a lot of the plays are still in play from last week. I want to look at Roku. I have NVIDIA up here, which I'm going to talk about. There's there's four main ones. The four companies I have up here are important. I want to talk about the reasoning as well as coming into next week. So let's talk about moving into this week from last week, what we saw. Here's my worry. If we see the individual names move with the S&P, that's not good, because if it's low volatility, that's not what we want. We want, Apple and all those stocks, you want them making 2, 3, 4% moves, and you want the whole S&P index to not move. That will be our ideal scenario. That's what we saw last week. But now there's news coming out, or really events. So a lot of, you guys could even come here. This is the website, Trading Economics. A lot of people ask me, you could come to calendar right here and go through. We have Japan, they came in actually with their balance of trade. Some stuff came out here, but really what I'm saying, I want to talk about the plays, not necessarily the global events fueling them. You guys will see those updates and we'll talk about them too. But as far as it's going to affect, we got a lot of European news. So this is what's going to lead to, I'm going to skip, I'm jumping all over the place, but we're going to go to Citi, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. Now, this is one of the same ones I brought up, but why I'm bringing it up right now is when you see these banks and a lot of the EU, and when they start doing that stuff, yes, markets respond to what happens in the US, but you'll notice a trend, and this is going to give you guys information to look at. Notice how bank stocks react on weeks of heavy European news. Honestly, I want to bring up Deutsche Bank and say this is one of the great plays, but be careful. I know the cheap stocks attracts all of you, but I would go for Citi. And now if you go to the option chain, this is what I even noticed. Even next week, so from Friday, I missed this on Friday. I talked about it on stream. These were 1,000% on the weeklies. But again, you even look at next week, for the next week contracts to have gone up 126%. That should tell you something, because again, when you go out with more time, the contract should increase a lot less. So Citi is one of those. It's just like JP Morgan. So again, when I think bank stocks, I go Citi or JP Morgan, and then because again, most of these banks all have European exposure. So seeing where they're at, I'm going to really keep my eyes on to those to the bank stocks this week. And then also when I talk about the McDonald's and some of the value stock plays, I told you when these are going to come in play, but that's the one event. The next event that we have to focus on, I already got a play on it last week. However, again, the key word here is digestion. I'm going to wait for the bounce and the reaction, but pretty much Google got probed over the weekend. I think that is it's going to be something that's going to come to life. We're going to see. However, Google has responded differently. Facebook gets some news. Does it affect Google? That's what we speculated on last time, that the Facebook news was going to carry on to Google, but Google is a bigger company. Some people think Google's too big to fail. I just think they've been around the block a few times. They've had lawsuits. People are already worried about their privacy invasion. It's a little bit different, but Google's going to be in play and how that plays. And even then, it might be one for selling premium if it does nothing. Because I said this, it's hard to move Google. You have to understand, this is why it caught my attention, the velocity. Google can make big dollar amounts, but the fact it does it quickly, that's something to watch. So anytime this week, if you see Google make large pops up or down, there's probably going to be some news. Literally made me snap my fingers. So there's that. I'm going to be watching that. And of course, in conjunction with that, Facebook, I think Facebook's still in play. It's kind of having that Boeing effect, but Facebook is looking even weaker. However, you guys could watch the video I posted of just getting burned 20 grand on Facebook. You got to know how to finesse it. So I'm going to be looking at that. However, in that video, I talk about it and I will go over it on stream. Facebook puts are literally underpriced considering the same risks are still on the table. So that's something to know. Next, NVIDIA and McDonald's. So I'm going to go with NVIDIA because McDonald's might be, this is going to be a huge point I want to make. But NVIDIA, it held up. You saw, who cares really what the market did, honestly, on Friday. I know that may sound weird, but the fact is you're having NVIDIA. That's what this is, the I don't give a crap pattern is what you could call it. It went up. It's still going up. The valuation's there. Investors aren't rotating out, and it doesn't seem like they're rotating in, but it's holding its value. I've already talked about it. NVIDIA is getting these points where it's going to be critical. If it breaks 170, 172, it leaves a lot of room on the table for some big run-ups, and we saw what NVIDIA could do. The only worry is it moved up so much last week. Some of the contracts are already going to be expensive, so again, waiting off the morning. I'm going to wait. It didn't do it last time, but you want to wait for these little pop and drops. That's going to be good. And now the same thing that applies to NVIDIA goes now into the last one, McDonald's, because McDonald's, I would say loosely Starbucks and Walmart, but mainly McDonald's. McDonald's did exactly what I wanted. It had one of those weird days yesterday. It dropped down to 182 and made a huge ramp up. This is one you can't forget. It's a low volatility stock. The options are cheap, and it can move a big dollar amount. However, once the premium gets baked in, that's what you got to worry about. So hopefully we get a big drop wiping off some of this, and then we see McDonald's, if this is now the point where the value stocks start to trend with, they start pretty much, if the market goes down, they go up, market goes down, they hold. McDonald's is going to be a real winner. And then same thing with NVIDIA and McDonald's now. With both of these stocks potentially having a chance to move, tomorrow is going to be a really important date because the weeklies are going to be cheaper. If you're able to find, I was like, who's honking at me? If you're able to find a good price and get in early, the best part about all of that is that it'll last you a week. So sometimes these ones on the morning could be underpriced, especially if these are going to have monster weeks. So that's what we're going to look at. And honestly, if the markets start to pick up, I would be looking at NVIDIA first, and then McDonald's, we'll see. And then, however, I'm going to be looking at what's going on with Google and Facebook, and then the bank stock. So there's that. That's pretty much it. One thing I do want to wait to see that gets digested. There was more reports that the Xi Jinping meeting got pushed from March to April. Now there's reports they're pushing it from April to June. But I'll recap some of that. Beyond that, not too much crazy stuff beyond the Japan data came out throughout the weekend. There is the veto with the wall. There, some political effects, but nothing too crazy. I want to keep my eye out for oil in Russia and any of those developments, even OPEC, Saudi Arabia, anything literally within the oil markets that could tell us stuff. And then gold and crypto markets, those are, I want to see how they respond this week and especially what the market does. But that's pretty much it, you guys. I hope you like this. Give me your feedback. But now here's how you're going to contribute. Post your watch list in the comments. Let me know what you guys are looking at, or, post anything. You can post the order. You can post the yellow. I don't care, but I want to see you guys in the chat tomorrow. Keep it positive, respectful. Come ready. It's going to be fun. I love you guys. Peace out. Get a good night's sleep. I'm hyped. Good night.